It's been kind of crazy lately, right?
Yeah.
All these stories about, AI-powered apps just like minting money.
Right.
Like we're even seeing figures floating around like $100,000 a month.
Yeah. 100K a month.
These like super focused little software businesses, these micro SaaS
So
companies, right?
that's us.
Makes you wonder what they're doing, right?
Yeah, it does. It's a really dynamic environment out there at the moment. And that $100,000 figure,
Uh-huh.
well, definitely eye-catching,
Right.
isn't just luck. You know, there are some genuinely clever strategies at work.
Yeah, for sure. So for this deep dive, we've pulled together a collection of examples,
Okay.
5 specific microsaws successes, and we're gonna like really unpack the thinking behind them.
Sounds good.
Think of it like a fast track, right?
All right.
Your cheat sheet to understanding how these things work.
Yeah.
So our goal is to pull out those key insights, those aha moments,
Yeah.
so you can really grasp what's achievable here.
Yep.
And what's especially interesting is many of these didn't even require knowing how to code.
Yeah.
Some started with no code at all.
Which is really exciting, I think, for a lot of people because it really levels the playing field.
Totally.
And it emphasizes that quite often, the problem that you're tackling and how you approach it is actually more important than the underlying, technical complexity of the solution itself.
Okay, so let's dive in.
Okay.
First up is link drip.
Link drip.
I mean, think about when you share a link, like on Instagram or TikTok, you're maybe directing people to your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's like you're kind of tossing it out into the ether, right? You don't really get a sense of like where those clicks are coming from.
You just kind of hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the central frustration that link drip addresses, right? Content creators, especially those who are, active across multiple platforms,
Yeah.
really need to understand where their audience is coming from. And that traffic source is absolutely vital for refining their content strategy.
Yeah. I've always wondered, like, is my TikTok audience actually coming over to YouTube or are they just staying on TikTok?
Right.
So link drip solves that problem.
Okay.
So you paste your YouTube link in,
Right.
it spits out this unique like drip link, and then you use that special link across all your profiles,
Interesting.
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. And then boom,
Okay.
you can track exactly where those clicks to your YouTube content are coming from.
So you can really understand where people are coming from.
Yeah.
It's a pretty straightforward fix for a very real headache, I think, for a lot of creators.
Right. And a very specific need for a specific group of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
These content creators.
Yeah, very targeted solution for a very defined user group.
Right.
And what's really fascinating here is the genius strategy.
Yes.
So Simon Heiberg, the founder of LinkDrip, he didn't even build the application first.
Oh, really? So how did
Yeah.
he do it?
So this is where it gets really interesting.
Oh, right.
He actually pre-sold lifetime access to LinkDrip on his YouTube channel for $75.
Wow.
Yeah, so just think about that. He just had like a basic web page describing what the tool would do.
Oh, wow.
And guess what?
What?
He generated $70,000 in revenue
Yeah.
before writing a single line of code.
That is incredible.
It's incredibly savvy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the core insight here, I think, is, validate before you build
Right.
by pre-selling the founder,
Right.
de-risk development, and prove demand.
Uh-huh.
Plus, it gave him immediate funding.
Yeah.
So he essentially financed the creation of the product based on confirmed interest.
What a great idea.
Talk about smart risk management.
Yeah, and a win for those early adopters too, right?
Absolutely.
They
Yeah.
got lifetime access for a one-time payment.
Yeah.
Could save them tons of money in the long run.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
But then there's like another layer of genius here.
Okay.
The branded URLs.
Ah, yes, the viral loop. Because every link you create with LinkDrip includes like a little branded URL.
Oh.
So it's like linkdrip.com/ and then whatever.
Right.
So every time someone shares one of those links, they're also subtly promoting the platform.
They're like a little mini advertisement.
Exactly. It turns every shared link into a mini advertisement.
Right.
It's free marketing, seamlessly integrated into the product.
This is like the product-led growth thing.
Exactly.
Where the product itself is driving customer acquisition.
That's the idea, yeah.
Very smart. Okay, let's move on.
All right.
Our next example is Study Buddy.
Study Buddy.
Now, this one is, well, it definitely grabs your attention.
Okay, tell me more.
Study Buddy is an AI tool that's designed to, like, automatically complete homework for college students.
What? So like you don't have to do your homework anymore?
That's the idea. Apparently those all-nighter study sessions are,
A thing of the past.
yeah, thing in the past.
Wow, okay.
Now, the guy who pointed out this example, he made this really cool comparison. He was like, likening Study Buddy to Chegg. He's like, Chegg is kind of like a vitamin.
Yeah.
It can help, but you still got to put in the effort.
You got to do the work, yeah.
Search for the answers, fill them in.
Yeah.
Study Buddy, he's positioning it as a painkiller.
Well, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
That's a very common analogy in the SciS world.
Right.
A painkiller directly addresses like a significant pain point.
Yeah.
And offers a complete solution.
Right.
Whereas, a vitamin, it provides supplementary benefits, but doesn't necessarily like solve a mission critical problem.
Right. And in this case, the pain is doing your homework.
The pain is homework. Yeah. The time and effort associated with homework.
Exactly. And Study Buddy wants to just
eliminate that.
Eliminate it.
Right.
And it looks like it's catching on.
Yeah.
Study Buddy saw some like pretty huge growth in its first year.
That's impressive.
Now, the strategy behind it is worth looking at.
Right.
The founder, Oliver Botto.
Oliver Botto.
He specifically looks for products that have like an intrinsically viral quality.
Intrinsically viral. So he's not just, developing a product and then hoping it catches on.
Yeah.
He's like actively looking for ideas that have a strong potential for virality.
Right. He wants that thing to spread like wildfire.
Yeah, concepts that are, attention grabbing enough to spread on social media like wildfire.
Exactly. And apparently he used a similar strategy to scale a sex chocolate company.
A sex chocolate company, wow.
Yeah, so he had a history with this kind of approach.
Okay.
So for Study Buddy, he saw this video of a similar tool just like blowing up on TikTok.
Okay.
And he was like, I can make a better version of this.
All right, I like his confidence.
Yeah, and then what he did was super streamlined.
What did he do?
He just hired one developer.
Okay.
Launched what they call an MVP.
An MVP, minimum viable product.
Yeah, in about 2 months.
Wow, that's fast.
Yeah, so speed and adaptability.
Yes, super important.
Key. And then once he had that, that functional version,
right,
it was all about the content.
Okay.
So just like simple demo videos showing this AI tool in action.
Like what kind of stuff?
Like, completing homework in a library or something.
Okay, so just like a real world scenario.
Yeah, and these things just went viral.
Wow.
Driving tons of monthly recurring revenue.
So he's making serious bank.
Yeah, now he's even using TikTok ads.
Okay.
And that pushed him past that $100,000 MRR mark.
Wow.
In about a year.
So in a year, he's gone from idea
to
$100,000 a month business.
Pretty much.
That's incredible.
But the big takeaway here, like the nugget of wisdom, is this like content first strategy.
The content first strategy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's flipping the process.
Yeah.
It's not build it and then find the audience.
Yeah. Find a proven audience and content strategy first, and then build the solution.
Right.
I think that's a really, really important point.
It's okay. Number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah. Crayon AI.
Crayon AI.
Okay. Now this one taps into that whole growing world of faceless content creation.
Faceless content creation.
Especially on platforms like TikTok.
Interesting. Okay.
So Crayon AI, it automatically generates these short videos for creators who don't want to show their faces.
Makes sense.
It does everything. Like it writes the script, generates voiceovers, captions, effects.
Yeah.
Even like background images and music.
So the whole package.
Yeah.
Wow. So these creators, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah. And the people using it are really interesting.
Okay.
These creators, a lot of them are using these videos for TikTok's creativity program.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Where they earn like revenue, about $1 for every 1,000 views.
Oh, well, so they're actually making money.
Yeah, so Crayon AI is directly helping these people generate income.
Right.
And that's a compelling value proposition.
Yeah, I mean, when your product is directly contributing to your users' earnings, they're far more likely to invest in it.
Right, and also this whole faceless thing really opens it up.
Yeah, because age and location become less relevant.
Right, anyone can do it.
Right, anyone can participate.
And the way they price it is really clever, too.
Yeah, how do they price it?
It's tiered based on the number of videos that you generate.
Right.
So it scales with your potential income.
Okay, so the more videos you need, the more you pay.
Right.
Makes sense.
But the real genius, I think, with Crayon AI is their go-to market strategy.
Okay.
This thing they're calling creator-led SaaS.
Creator-led SaaS.
So basically, the product's growth is heavily driven by partnerships with influential creators.
Interesting. Okay, so tell me more about these partnerships.
Okay, so this involves some pretty cool collaborations.
Right.
So the technical founder, he partnered up with two major players in the short-form video space.
Okay.
First, there's Daniel Bitton.
Daniel Bitton, okay.
This teenager who was apparently making like $500,000 a month creating short videos on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And he has this massive following of other aspiring short-form video creators.
So immediate access to a huge relevant audience.
Okay, very smart. And then the second partner is this guy, Musa.
Musa, okay.
Who runs this online community called Media Meta.
Media Meta.
And his methods have been described as like generating a lot of discussion.
Okay. In what way?
So Musa teaches people how to repurpose clips from popular streamers.
Oh.
Like by adding split screens and other edits.
Right.
And then post them on TikTok to generate income.
So he's like a TikTok growth hacking kind of guy.
Yeah, and it's definitely a tactic that sparks debate.
Right.
But it also gets a ton of views and engagement.
Yeah, the thing, controversy often drives views, engagement.
And